transformed by the renewal of your mind. Just remember that. Right there, there's only one power, that's God the good. You got a song?
Yeah, it's
And it's
called,
on our sheet?
yes, it's called We Belong to You by Trevor Thompson.
Oh, okay. Actually, if I get closer to that.
We belong to you, O Lord of our longing. We belong to you in our daily living, dying and rising. We belong to you in the waters of your mercy. When the old becomes the new, souls united in the mystery, we belong to you. We belong to you, O Lord of our longing. We belong to you in our daily living, dying and rising. We belong to you. Filled with gifts and filled with goodness, Spirit breathing life into all who seek to find their purpose. We belong to you. We belong to you, O Lord of our longing. We belong to you in our daily living, dying and rising. We belong to you. When we share the bread you've broken with the many and the few, we are blessed and we are broken. We belong to you. We belong to you, O Lord of our longing. We belong to you in our daily living, dying and rising. We belong to you. We are called to share your word, Lord, in all we say and all we do. As our journey moves us onward, we belong to you. We belong to you, O Lord of our longing. We belong to you in our daily living, dying and rising. We belong to you. We belong to you, O Lord of our longing. We belong to you in our daily living, dying and rising. We belong to you.
Stealing my purse.
We belong to you. We belong to you.
Great song.
Great song.
Yeah, very
Always
nice.
finds the best song.
That's very nice. It's a new one. We haven't heard that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I went on Google and I just put in Lent songs, and
Oh,
that came up.
I
Nice.
guess we belong. We don't have to, we don't have the right to tell him where we want to go and what we want to do we? We're his. These little playthings do what he wants with us. Are there any announcements? Speaking lineup, I'm told next week is Carol Gomleski, whatever how you pronounce her last name.
Golubeski.
Gomleski, that would be on
Carol G.
the 8th.
Carol G.
And on the 15th, who's done?
I think Jamie
Jamie
Hampshire.
Walters. On the 22nd, I will be speaking. And on the last week of the month, I'm told it's Jody Kessler,
Jody Kissler.
coming down from Ithaca.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
That's great. And next Sunday, I just noticed our clocks go ahead Saturday night.
Yes.
We spring ahead, so.
So we spring ahead, so
Yes, let's see how that works.
Yeah.
We can't get here on time.
You're an hour early.
Should be interesting.
We'll see who shows up at 12:45.
but we'll have longer days, so that's fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
Speaking of which, does anybody know who the idiot is that decided we're gonna have an extra day? That we should have it in February?
Seriously.
Why not in July or August? Come on, let's start a
It's true.
movement here.
It goes back hundreds of years to Julius
Let's get a
Caesar.
movement, get that extra
Yeah,
day in
it
July
goes
or
way
August.
back.
All in
For a
favor?
lot of reasons. There you go. So next week is the parade on Saturday. If anyone is willing to help, FCC sells cookies and hot dogs and gives away popcorn and hot chocolate. It's an elder congregation, so they could use all the help they could get. If anybody wants to bake cookies, they would certainly be welcome. And starting on Wednesday is the Lenten soup supper
Ooh,
with a little message and some music called Music and Meditation. So that starts this week. If everybody's invited to come and enjoy, and if you'd like to make a soup, that would be awesome.
That's at 6 o'clock on Wednesdays?
Yeah.
So when is the volunteer time for Saturday for the parade?
Anytime from 10:30 on. The parade itself starts at 1:30. We get here about 10:30.
And you sell them from here
We
or
sell
out
it right in the
front?
front, right in the front.
on Main
We
Street.
put up a, like a little tent
Yeah.
tarp thing and tables.
You know, I've never been to the parade. Maybe I'll volunteer.
Yeah, this way you can be warm in the building. If it's cold, everybody hides in the front vestibule and runs out.
Does the parade go through here?
Right,
or-
right in front, right on Main
Awesome.
Street, just
Okay.
right down. So-
And I had a question about that. Wednesday, if it's soup then, does Reverend Suggs still have his Course in Miracles
Yes.
class? every
That's
week?
the-
Yes, it starts a half hour later, so
Yes.
the talking
Yeah.
is at 7 and the actual ACIM is at 7:30.
Now, do they have separate speakers coming out on Wednesdays? Do you know?
I forget who is this week. I have a list, but I didn't bring it with me. So-
Speakers for Course in Miracles?
No.
Or
No, for the
couldn't-
music and meditation.
For the
Oh.
message?
Meditation has a different
Do you know what I
each
mean? They do
week
like
is a
we do,
different
they
person.
rotate different people giving a
Yeah.
message.
and
Oh, but
different and
it's
different
separate
musicians.
from Course
Course
in
in Miracles,
Miracles?
Yes, yes,
So, okay,
totally.
I got confused, yeah. And they have calendars in the office anyway, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
So does it start with soup, or does it start first?
Starts with soup.
And then you go
And
to
then
the
at like
sanctuary?
7, we go into the sanctuary for the music and meditation.
Oh, okay, and how
And
long?
that's usually like a half an hour.
That's a half
Yeah,
hour?
occasionally the chapel, depends.
Okay.
Now they have a new pastor.
Just a temporary pastor until the search committee, which is the reason I'm not here all the time, because the search committee meets and I'm on the search committee, is finding a settled pastor. But for now, his name is Daniel Ling, and he's here. He's very friendly, very funny. His messages are really quite comical. Good speaker.
So he was funny today? He spoke today,
Yeah,
right?
he's always funny.
You could worship God with humor.
Yeah.
Concept. Any other announcements? No? Well, it's time to welcome our new members, or all members. And that statement of welcome is on the printed thing. I'd like to welcome Alameen. He's first time visitor with us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Give your name when you do welcome him. And we open our hearts.
Indoors.
Indoors.
To new individuals and families.
We
know that the right
Right time,
are showing us at the right and perfect
perfect
time.
time.
Amen.
And with that right and perfect time, a little reminder again, daylight savings time begins next Saturday night. It's time to greet your neighbors. Remember,
And making you feel closer to God than holding a newborn baby. That innocence, that purity, and my great granddaughter was born last week, and getting to hold her at an hour old or something was just a joy. When her mother was born in my house in a water tub. And so I got to hold her the second she was born. I taught her. And her child's birth was very similar in that they were both very calm. We just flipped them up and rolled them in the water, and they nursed and just cooed and kicked, and it was very peaceful, and we had on beautiful music and the lighting and the whole bit, and everyone was singing and rocking with mother and baby, and so it was a real joy.
Definitely. Thanks for sharing that. Anybody else?
And this is Unity Moments?
Christina?
Well, I finally got to see my baby niece again. I don't really get to see my niece much because she lives all the way in PA. But once I get my new place, I might be starting to get her on the weeks when my sister Kamara needs time off. So I might be starting to babysit my niece.
And how old is she now?
She's going to be turning 2 this year.
Oh, that's a good age.
Well, the reason why she's so special to me is because, like, my sister Kamari, every time she had a baby, she would miscarry it. So she's practically my miracle niece. And I'm very overly protective of her, and I try to spend all the time I can with her. They just went back home today. They're going back home today. But I'm hoping I can see my niece again.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
I'll share one.
Yay.
Last Sunday, because there's no Unity service, I woke up and I said, what a nice day. It almost feels like springtime. So Donna and I got in the car and we went to Asbury Park, New Jersey, along the shore.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, looking at the shore, looking at the starry sky at night, you could feel the vastness and the greatness of the whole thing. But when I look at the ocean and everything, I realize how full this planet is of life. Because the ocean is full of life, the land that we're on is full of life, and just surrounded by life when I look at the ocean. So that was pretty cool. Plus, I shook off the winter blues. Walking the boardwalk and walking in the sand, it's just, I'm ready for spring now.
We are.
Yeah, it's a nice thing.
Another thing, I actually have an appointment March 3rd, so I'm hoping I can figure out whatever's wrong with my lungs. Because lately I've been having a lot of trouble with my lungs to where, like, I would spit up foam a lot. And I think it's mostly from the smoking, but I quit smoking. But hopefully after this appointment I can figure out all the problems I have with my back, my knee, and my lungs. And my stomach. It's like every morning I feel sick to my stomach.
We see you whole.
I see you whole and healthy.
We see you whole and
And
healthy.
may you be
We'll
healed
pray for you,
easily.
which
Thanks.
is a great segue into the next.
I just hope Kelly Rosemar can figure out what's wrong. And then hopefully I can get this birth control out of my arm, the next plan, because the hospital used me as a guinea pig with it.
And I left it in your arm?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
so I'm hoping I can get it out.
Well, our prayers are with you. Which leads us to the blessing of our prayer request. We could find that on the order of service too. I will remind you that if you have any special prayers, you could hold them up at this time. If you write them down legibly, then you will empty the box in the back and forward them up to Silent Unity. Where at Silent Unity, they'll pray over it 24/7 for the next 30 days.
Try to write clearly, because if I can't see them, if I can't read them, I can't send them.
Yeah, she sent them by email, so
Yeah,
they have to be legible. Although we do know that our prayers don't have to make any sense for God to hear them. And you don't need words for that, but if you have a written prayer, you can put it in the back there. And God's all-encompassing love.
Wholeness is established in every area of our lives, so it is.
Key words there is wholeness and perfect. You have that word?
This is a very timely heading for the reading today, healing. I am life, the radiant life of God. When I'm experiencing illness or pain from an injury, I may forget that wholeness is my natural state of being. As I focus on symptoms, the feeling of illness or injury may grow stronger. It's then that I remember the truth. I am a living expression of God, created in God's image and likeness. Divine life, the very life of God, is my spiritual inheritance. In prayer, I align my thoughts and feelings with the power of life. As I move deeply into prayer, any lingering thought of illness or injury dissolves. With any faith-inspired vision, I see the energy of life circulating everywhere in my body, bringing renewed vitality. Every cell of my body glows with the power of life. I came that they might have life and have it abundantly. John 10:10. So it is.
Thank you.
And your meditation is included in your message, or is it a separate meditation?
Separate.
Time for meditation.
I'll read. How about the mic?
They need a mic.
The mic, she got the mic.
The mic.
Yeah, you know she needs it.
Cue the mic.
Is she not gonna do any special music?
It's next.
That's after the meditation.
And she can hear me?
Yes.
Is it turned on?
I couldn't hear you.
It's on here.
Check it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Jerry, is it on back there?
It's
7, 8,
9. It don't sound like it. 10, 11, 12.
You may have to jump.
All sitting from down.
All right, thank you. Thank you. So sometimes it's hard to bring yourself into a peaceful place of silence, the sort of physical, mental, and spiritual attitude that we all want as the natural habitat in which to live our lives.
It wasn't anything I did on that.
Let's see.
The battery died.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's off now.
The battery died.
How about now? Yeah.
Maybe everybody can hear you with, yeah.
Yeah, your voice is pretty clear.
Now it's
Yeah.
Looks like the battery's dead in that thing.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, we have to change the battery.
Yeah, but the Carol How about this? How about this? Can you hear me? No.
I think you have to
Just
turn it
try
up
it.
back there, Jerry.
You have to
Turned
turn
up
it
back there?
Hello?
Turned up here, yeah.
Yeah, because it had it, and then when you went to move it, it conked out.
Hello?
People can always move
Testing.
forward.
Can everybody move forward then?
Does this have to turn off maybe? Make that one work?
Testing? Testing? Okay, how about if I try really hard?
There you go.
And if I can't do it, then
It's working now. It's
seriously.
working. It's
Oh,
working now.
okay.
Oh, there we go.
All right, let me know if there's a.
Did everybody enjoy the quiet moment of meditation?
Due to technical
Yeah.
difficulties.
All right, so let me know. How's this? Is this okay? All right. So sometimes it's hard to bring yourself into a peaceful place of silence with all the technical difficulties. The sort of physical, mental, and spiritual attitude that we all want as part of the natural habitat in which we live our lives. But here's a meditation that came to me from some readings I've been doing lately. I stole bits and pieces from all over. So close your eyes. Visualize yourself as a beautiful sphere bobbing on the surface of the ocean, iridescent and shimmering with every color as you are blessed by the warm rays of the sun. But you are caught up in the tumult of the ocean, riotously pitching whitecaps that throw you from here to there and are quite beyond your control. You cannot break free of riding high on the crests and shooting down into the depths of the powerful ocean waves in the same way your monkey mind often conspires to keep your thoughts spinning and lurching and keeping you in an unsettled state. You want peace, but you can't find it on the ocean's surface. So you choose to take control, and you begin to sink. Lower and lower, appreciating the darting neon fish and other sea life all around you. The bright, beautiful fish swim by but seem not to see you as you sink lower and lower into the peace and stillness of the ocean. Soon light is only a faint glimmer overhead as you sink deeper and deeper into the silence. Deeper, 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 until you find yourself resting on the bottom of the sea. You feel the organic material of the millennia under you, but you feel no fear. You know you are safe, cradled in the deep sea bosom of Mother Earth. Slowly you begin to feel stretching, and you realize that you are sending roots to anchor you in this life-giving environment. They grow and grow, letting themselves stretch deeper and further, and then you feel an element from deep inside you shoot forth, yearning toward the unseen light far overhead. Up, up it goes, arousing the curiosity of passing fish who have never seen such a thing before. A strong, vibrant green stem of life stretching toward the light of the sun. And with a little pop, there you are in the sunshine, on the surface of a sea that is now a beautiful sheet of aquamarine glass. And in the light, you can perceive your awesome transformation. Once you were a mere seed of unknowable potential, and now you have grown into full and magnificent bloom. Seeking peace and daring to pursue it has brought you to a place of fulfillment and awesome beauty. You are now a water lily blossom, able to ride atop even the most unsettled ocean, because you are deeply rooted in a life much bigger than yourself. And you know that you will stay anchored to that life, that peace, that seminal source of creation, for as long as you live. And I just read this poem this morning. It is the perfect ending to today's meditation. It's in the beginning of the new month, March and April Daily Word. For this one moment, all is perfect. I have breath. Divine life fills me. I need nothing but to know the now, where my heart celebrates and my soul rejoices. Overflowing with serenity, I rest in the rich fullness of being still. To simply be is ecstasy.
And now it's time for special music.
can turn
Rose
that
and
one
Sharon?
off. You can turn that one off. Let's see if this one. So, this is called Heaven. Just a little bit. Maybe someday we'll get Brooke to sing it. She's being a little shy about it. Bluebirds at my window, deer out my back door. I think every day is getting better than the one before. Spring's nearly all around me, a relief, that's how I feel. Optimism has come back, and this time it's for real.
Lenten, meaning spring season. We're definitely ready for that, aren't we? That conjures up images of tulips and bunnies, of busy chickens laying lots of eggs again, and children turning them into all kinds of bright colors. In other languages, the word Lent has connotations of fasting and preparing the believer for the coming big event. Holy Thursday, memorializing the Last Supper. And Good Friday, in my opinion, one of the worst named holidays ever. And then the glory of Easter. In some religions, preparation includes doing penance to make amends for sins, giving extra alms to the church and to the poor, and mortifying the flesh, which can mean anything from avoiding Hershey bars to scourging one's back, and monks wearing rough animal skin or animal hair shirts, which slowly and painfully scrape the skins off their bodies for centuries. Sign me up! I have been part of a Sunday night Bible study at Tabernacle just down the street, and we've been slogging through Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and I mean slogging. It's fascinating now to really dig into it and see how God may have given some directives, some simple little 10 commandments, and then man goes nuts and does a bazillion more. It's like, interesting. Somebody pointed out that man by nature makes a lot, it feels compelled to make a lot of rules, which is really interesting. And I'm sure some are needed to function as a society, but some are maybe a little ego-driven, perhaps. So we see that kind of thing in a lot of religions. Rules, rules, rules. And not that anybody does these kinds of radical forms of self-mortification anymore, at least nobody that I'm aware of. But I wonder how God and Jesus felt when they watched utterly sincere men and women whipping themselves until blood poured down their lacerated flesh. It's hard to believe they were delighted with that level of intended worship. But there are plenty of other ways to mortify the flesh, namely denying ourselves, to remind us of the 40 days Jesus spent in the desert, his own soul-deep struggle to prepare the events that he knew would be unfolding. We all know just what we can give up that would really catch our ongoing attention. No coffee, no diet soda, no meat on Fridays. I'm definitely not trying to discourage whatever practice is meaningful to you during Lent and brings you into a more peaceful mindset. But I do have a suggestion. Add things too. These words are attributed to Pope Francis, although, like much of what we read on the internet, this attribution may not be exactly accurate, but the words are deeply valuable nonetheless. Fast from hurting words and say only kind things. Obviously, these aren't only for Lent, but since we're all trying to be more spiritually perceptive and rooted, it's a good time to incorporate these. Fast from sadness and be filled with gratitude. And it's interesting to me, those are given as almost opposites, which I don't know that that's absolutely true, but for me personally, when I'm sad and if I can be mindful of the positives in my life and then be vocally grateful for them, I change. Fast from anger and be filled with patience. Fast from pessimism and be filled with hope. That was just your song. Fast from worries and trust in God. That reflects back to that meditation. Fast from complaints and contemplate simplicity. Fast from pressures Fast from bitterness and fill your heart with joy. Fast from selfishness and be compassionate to others. Fast from grudges and be reconciled. Fast from words and be silent so you can listen. As I'm reading this, I'm realizing one element I forgot to write down but occurred to me. What can we do to proactively grow this Lent season? One of the things when I'm teaching in classes about writing your life story, or a course called Peaceful Passing, How to Prepare for Your Death, one of the things is, why not write letters or even just notes, not intending to send them, but to the people maybe you have trouble forgiving, or the people you hurt, or anybody who's stuck in your heart for not the most positive reason. Write a letter and say what you really feel, which then forces you to feel that and acknowledge and maybe learn for the first time what you really feel about that person. About a mom that you loved so very, very much, or maybe a mom who really hurt you. Write the letter, write out your emotions, and then deal suitably with those emotions. If it's forgiveness, then pray that you will have a forgiving heart. Use this time to grow. And going back to that meditation we shared a few minutes ago, what are the waves that roil your personal ocean? Can you gather them up, stick them all in a box for Lent, and then decide later if you want to take them back out? And maybe in a month, you're going to notice that your worrying or not worrying about them had absolutely no effect. So what's the point of worrying? What's the point of not giving them to God? What's the point of not sinking deep into that ocean of peace and silence? It's your birthright. I don't think God wants people to lacerate their flesh. And it's hard to believe God wants us to worry. To what end? In her Finding the Secret Place, Unity author Emily Cady wrote about the value of sitting in silence so we can hear the voice of God. Noise belongs to the outside world, she wrote in the late 1800s, not to God. God works in the stillness, and we can so wait upon the Father of our being as to be conscious of the still inner workings. Our world is so noisy. Our lives are so noisy. The ocean surface is so riotous. But we can choose to back away and not participate in all that noise. Maybe we can use this sacred time of Lent to get ourselves in the practice of sitting in silence, even 15 minutes in the morning and again in the evening. For some, that may mean praying. For others, emptying their minds and allowing their glistening spears to sink into the depths of the ocean. Popular wisdom says it takes 21 days to build a habit and 90 days to build a lifestyle. Undertaking such a practice from now until Easter gets you almost halfway to building a new lifestyle. Yesterday's passage in the devotional God Calling really sparked a huge insight in me about my relationship to Jesus. And I'm going to read it to you. February 29th, it's entitled Draw Near. How little, this book was channeled. This book was channeled by two women in the 1930s, humble souls in England, who had no idea what was happening when suddenly one of them, they perceived that one of them was channeling the words of Jesus. That he was right there talking to these two utterly poverty-stricken women who lived together, one more spiritual than the other. It's a really cool book if anybody wants to ever investigate it. This is Jesus speaking. How little man knows and senses my need of love and companionship. I came to draw men unto me, and sweet it is to feel hearts drawing near in love, not for help, as much for tender comradeship. Many know the need of man, few know the need of Christ. It had never occurred to me that Christ might need me in that way, as his friend. I had always thought of the expressions from the song, "What a friend I have in Jesus," as being a kind of a one-way street. He's my friend. I need him. I give him all my problems. But he needs me too, to be his friend. Certainly food for thought. And I'm loving this new book, written in the last few months for this Lenten season by a friend of mine. She's a writer and publisher in Vestal, Ellen Santa, and Tabernacles pastor Harold Wheat. It offers insight into the lives of 7 mystics, including Sojourner Truth. How cool is that? I never would have used that word to describe her. And gives suggested spiritual activities for each of the 40 days. I learned in it centuries ago, Francis of Assisi saw the interconnectedness and sacredness of all life, even picking up worms and placing them out of the way of passers-by feet.
Can you read the title of the book?
You're touching the power thing. Don't touch that.
And then don't hit anything with it like the tape. But can you read the title of the book?
Yes, it's not available yet. It
Oh,
was printed just for Tabernacle.
I see.
Classes in
Encountering the
Tabernacle.
Cross with the Mystics.
Yeah, it will be available later. It's not right now.
How about the other one?
Pardon?
And the title of the other one?
God Calling.
Yeah, that one's available.
Yeah, and then this one is Complete Works. See, I'm not touching it.
You gotta put it closer to you.
Okay,
Here.
I apologize.
The
Okay.
Complete Works of Emily Cady, you said?
Yeah, they jumping. Okay. So that book is really cool too. Centuries ago, St. Francis and the other mystics cited different approaches to fulfilling the words of Jesus. Love the Lord God above all and love your neighbor as yourself. You see that I read a lot of spiritual stuff, but there are dozens and dozens of books on my shelf, and probably yours too, that I haven't touched in years. Well, we got, 35 days left in Lent? Why not pick up one book a day and read through it, catch its lessons, and then maybe take it with you to bed at night and read it. Feed your soul good stuff, good food for this Lenten period. It's not only about what you cannot feed, but it's about what can you feed yourself that's nourishing. I'm coming late to the party since Lent began on Wednesday, but I'm weighing myself every morning and keeping scrupulous track of how many calories I ingest. I have generally not honored my body or her need nearly enough, but it's never too late. That can be a Lenten practice too. We are little pieces of God, so's our body. It's the vehicle by which we serve. Well, if I'm laid up, I ain't serving, right? If we take care of ourselves, we are going to be that much more empowered.
Did the sound just go off?
I don't think the machine's working right.
Or it's user error.
That's great. The Spirit just empowered you.
So maybe we can decide to smile more, pray more. There's all kinds of things we can do more rather than just the things subtracted from our lives in Lent. What else can we do to add valuable practices to our daily lives for Lent and after? What can we do?
Exercise.
Pardon?
Exercise.
Yeah.
Spend time outside in nature.
Absolutely.
Notice when we think something pessimistic and say cancel clear and shift gears. I have to catch myself doing, I have to do that, I know, I try.
That's really huge. That's
It
a
is.
great tool. Yeah. What else?
Nurture and encourage others.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Spend time loving with family and friends, people you value, and tell them that you value them.
Have a daily gratitude.
Wait, that's too
practice.
much. Spending time I could see, but actually saying it in words.
Cancel clear, Jerry.
Can't ask you for hugs.
I mean, I visited my brother last night, and that was enough.
You cannot say anything, just hug them.
What did you say, a daily gratitude
Yeah, I
practice?
was just gonna say,
That's, yeah.
a daily gratitude
Yeah.
practice.
I also do a daily forgiveness practice. I use Ho'oponopono
Yeah.
every morning
Oh.
for anyone that I have harmed or has harmed me.
You use what?
Ho'oponopono. It's a Hawaiian prayer of forgiveness. So it goes, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Or you can switch them around, I've seen it done, but it's 4 simple lines and you just envision the person, because I find I'm being called to a deeper level of compassion and forgiveness, especially to close members of my family. And so I say that every day with them envisioned in my heart and in my mind, and then I offer them that forgiveness.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
And how necessary is that? In today's political climate too, it's easy to lose your balance. I can love everybody, yeah, unless.
Exactly.
Well, it's not like we're allowed exceptions, you know? But it's awfully human right now, it's real human out there. But we are called to be spiritual beings, right? We are souls, primarily. We are called to be our highest spiritual selves, so we need to envision what that is and then shoot for it, right? Scrape away whatever else isn't, and then rise. Any other thoughts? What can we do?
Breathe.
Is that what you were going to say?
Breathing techniques.
Breathe, yeah. Absolutely.
Slow down and really like stop for moments and look at whatever's there. Like last night before I went in the house, it was nighttime and I stopped and looked up at the sky and I saw all these constellations I hadn't seen for a while. And so I just stared at them for several seconds and, was grateful to see them. I saw Orion and the Orion's belt and all these others. So many stars. Just to slow down.
Sometimes I stand back and try to think, what does God, what does creation want to give me that I'm not accepting? And maybe even that, they're overhead every night, every day for that matter, but every night they are overhead. And sometimes there's clouds and we can't see them. But a lot of times we can. Or the structure of the leaf of a plant, a house plant now, because there's not much growing out there right now. But all the beauty, all the magnificence that surrounds us, if I stop and look at it, I'm nourished that much more by the awareness that how can you possibly think there's no creator? How cool is all this?
It's amazing.
Anybody else? Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you.
Go from here.
Love offering.
The love offering.
All that I give, all that I receive, all that I have, and all that I am.
Last part, all that I am, so be mindful of your presence is the biggest gift. With help financially, that's fine too, but not necessary, just being present is all that's required. And while that's going around, you got another song? I bet it's a good one too.
Turn our hearts around.
There you go.
Battery 80%.
I haven't figured it out.
Technology, anti-technology.
Turns itself off, it's so smart.
Turn our hearts around, turn our hearts around, flood our souls completely, wash us in your love. Turn our hearts around, turn our hearts around, hold us in your mercy, change us with your love. We cry out for you to heal and to set us free. Bring us back. Turn our hearts around. Turn our hearts around. Turn our hearts around. Flood our souls completely. Wash us in your love. Turn our hearts around. Turn our hearts around. Hold us in your mercy. Change us with your love. We have wandered and lost our way in life's wilderness. Bring us back. Turn our hearts around. Turn our hearts around. Turn our hearts around. Flood our souls completely. Wash us in your love. Turn our hearts around. Turn our hearts around. Hold us in your mercy. Change us with your love. We are tempted and we are fooled by sin's beautiful disguise. Bring us back. Turn our hearts around. Turn our hearts around. Turn our hearts around. Flood our souls completely. Wash us in your love. Turn our hearts around. Turn our hearts around. Hold us in your mercies. Change us with your love. Hold us in your mercy.
Did I tell you? I thought it was.
It's